Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Gallivanter Outdoors. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be car camping along the Natchez Trace Parkway with our camp dog Lola here. Join us for a good ride. We're gonna check out the old Trace exhibit. It looks like it's just a little thing here with some information. Let's check it out. All right, it says behind us here is an old portion of the Trace. I'm assuming that's gonna be back there. You can kind of see a little bit of a clearing. Kind of goes up through that way. Real pretty. Here inside the little building, it's got lots of information about the Trace and some of the history of it. Pretty neat to check out. It's got a map here. Of course, avoid distracted driving and share the road. Travel safe. All right, y'all. So we are now at the Emerald Mound. You know, I've seen pictures of this thing, but I never realized how large this actually is and the amount of work it had to have taken those Indians to build something. This is the second largest Indian mound in the United States according to this. There's only one that is larger, and it's in Illinois. So this was built from around 1300 to 1600. This is old, guys. But isn't that amazing? There's no telling what kind of artifacts are inside of this thing. You know, part of you wishes that they could do some digging around here and see, but you know, you don't want to destroy this kind of monument. But anyway, super cool, super cool. So directly across from where you turn to go to the Emerald Mounds, there was a sign that said Natchez State Park. So I tried to go check it out, but like you go quite a ways and it comes to the junction at 61. So I don't know how much further it is to the Natchez State Park once you get to 61, but that's not really what we're here for. We're here to see mostly just the Trace. So if anybody's been to the Natchez State Park, drop a comment below. Let us know how it was. Let us know if it's actually worth it to get that far off of the Trace to check it out. So this is the lowest bluff. The little sign there, it gives you a lot of information about what this is, but I don't think it's quite grand enough for us to get out with the doggy again. Y'all have seen the red bluff, and this is less than exciting when it comes to that. So we run into our first disappointment of the day. We were going to stop and check out the Mount Locust Inn, which is one of the only standing old inns left on the place, but it's closed. It's closed. Be right down there. But at least this field's pretty. So we've been traveling along for quite a ways now. There hasn't been any pull-offs really to go to historic landmarks and stuff, but I will say this: there has been tons of beautiful wildlife, lots of turkeys, lots of deer, and they don't really seem to be frightened by the vehicles. So if you're into seeing wildlife and getting a good look at them, this is definitely a nice little drive. So there was a sign that said Windsor Ruins, and I turned off, and because I've always wanted to see the Windsor Ruins. If y'all have never heard of that, go check it out. Google it. It's really neat, a lot of history there. But it would take me 22 miles off course, or 22 extra miles, I guess I should say. It's 11 miles that way. So we're just going to have to do that another day. Today we're focusing on the Trace. So darn it. So this is one of the parts that I've been excited to see, the sunken Trace. It's part of the old trail. And Lola's excited too. She's ready. Come on, baby. Come on, Papa. Come on. So let's go check this out. This was part of the original trace where people walked, and so many people walked over so many years that it literally sank into the ground. And Lola's just so excited. There's so many critter smells around and stuff. She can't stand it. But there it is. You can see how deep that is. That's probably 20 foot deep or so. Very interesting. All right, so we are headed down into the sunken trace now. And Lola's so excited. Look how nice. You know, I'm a big history guy. I love history and things like this, and just to walk along this path where people traveled by foot for hundreds of years, it's just a really nice feeling, you know, knowing about the ancestors and all that. And you know, this is a big part of American history right here. That's a big old tree growing down in the sunken part here. This is really neat down here, guys. You know, when you really get to thinking about it though, how many people, how many feet had to walk down this trail to have it basically like a canyon? I mean, look at that. Golly. I wish there was a real count on how many people walked this specific path. So now we're here at the Mangum Mound. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but anyway, this is quite a large mound as well. But reading this sign here, you guys can pause right there if you want to read about it. Some pretty interesting history here. Apparently there was a lot of infants buried in this mound, and apparently the death of the Indian chief here, he had his retainers slain and buried with him. So just goes to show you how far society has come. Interesting history. You enjoying the ride, puppy? It seems like Lola's really been having a good time with this. Neat little tunnel here. Some of these little side roads taking you to some of these sites and everything are really beautiful too. So don't forget to take the little side roads as you travel along the trace. So just back there, I passed the 50-mile mark. And I'm gonna say this trace is nice. It's very classic Mississippi scenes, you know, all the sandy creeks and the pine trees and all the wildlife and all that stuff. Very classic Mississippi. But you know, it's more or less just relaxing, just a leisurely, nice drive. If you're looking for, you know, really exciting scenery and all that stuff, I don't really think this is the place that you're looking for. But all in all, you know, if you're just looking for a nice leisurely drive just to relax, this is great. 50-mile-per-hour speed limits, everybody's just chilling, so it's very nice. All right, so right now we're pulling up on Rocky Springs, and just so y'all know, there is a permanent sign outside the building that says restrooms closed. So if you're counting on Rocky Springs to make a restroom break, you might want to plan ahead for that, because apparently they're not open to the public any longer. Kind of a narrow and rough path coming up Rocky Springs to the historic town site. Kind of excited to see what's up here. information about this little town, Rocky Springs. You guys can pause the screen right there if you'd like to read it. It's just a short little hike up there to it. And she is smelling critters everywhere. But she's happy. Okay, y'all, so this is really interesting here. Look at this old, like a bank safe. Like the ones off the old Western movies. That's so cool. And of course they've got it blocked off, but it's an old cistern that you would get water out of. Very neat. And another safe that would have been in the post office from 1821, it says. Wow. And yet another cistern. Just a little information there about this humongous canyon. It was caused by farmers not conserving the soil correctly. It is quite beautiful. Now, here is the old Rocky Springs Methodist Church. And what a picturesque Natchez type church with all the moss hanging. Beautiful brick building. 1835, I believe it said. What a sight. Isn't that just nifty? How those roots growed. Okay, so the church was built in 1837. If you guys want to pause right there, there's a little information about it. And it is a beauty. Look at that. It's been many a feet past that threshold to wear it out like that. Beautiful. So just checking out the cemetery here behind the church. Spoke with some really nice ladies from California, from Los Angeles, and from, what was it, Michigan, Minnesota. Very nice ladies, very nice ladies. And they were very intrigued by my southern accent and being able to hear it down here in the South. But they were so sweet. So definitely put Rocky Springs on your list to stop by on the Natchez Trace. That's definitely been the best stop yet. Just walking around that area and imagining just a bustling little town, you know, in the late 1700s, early 1800s. There's a little over 2,000 people there, it says. And the church is the only remaining building left there. But just the remnants of such a place, and to stand there and just, you know, close your eyes and imagine how it must have been there 200 plus years ago. It's quite a thought, quite an interesting feeling. If you're a history person like I am, definitely make that a stop. The cemetery was great. I didn't get a lot of footage there because I was caught up talking with those nice ladies, and they were so kind, and they were so inquisitive about my dialect, I guess you could say. I even had one ask me, she said, I noticed that you say ma'am a lot. She said, I hope I'm not being rude, but is that something you all are taught in school or by your parents? I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am, I really don't know. I said, it's just kind of beat into our heads from the very beginning. When you speak to your elders, it's yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. But she thanked me for talking to her about it. I just told her it's just etiquette here. But I gave them some pointers about Natchez and some of the sights to see there and all. So I hope they have a good time, and I hope that if they see this YouTube video, I really enjoyed meeting y'all, and I hope y'all have fun. But anyway, it's onward for us, and we're headed north now. So we'll see y'all at the next stop. Are you having fun so far, baby? Are you having a good time? She seems like she's having a good time, y'all. This is her first time out with Daddy like this. We're having fun. Alright, so y'all know I'm not an RV guy, but I've been passing a lot of RVs for the last few miles, and every single one of them has a big old yellow sticker up on the driver's side top with like a number and a bunch of writing that I ain't been able to read. But drop a comment below if you know what that means, because it's kind of got me curious. Like, is that some kind of group or what's going on there? Just things you see on the road, you know. And here we are at the Barnett Overlook. And that is quite an overlook. Barnett is a big old lake. So you guys can pause right there. There's some really interesting information about this site over here. Let's go check it out. So that's really neat to know that there was something that old there. People lived here for hundreds and hundreds of years. Interesting. I love it. That lake is still just a-going. And it is a beautiful day, boy, to be out on that water right now. Woo! Boy, it'd be a nice day. That is quite a lovely view. Very nice. Well, we've made it to the Choctaw boundary, somewhere around the 130-mile marker. And it's beautiful here with lots of big tall pines. We're going to stop and take us a little break. Yep. And there's that beautiful Mississippi cotton about ready to harvest. And some of you'd be interested to know that cotton is still a huge thing in Mississippi. We are a big time supplier of cotton for the entire United States. Check it out. Ain't it pretty? Looks like a snowy field. Well, I figured it was time for Lola to take a little old bathroom break, so we're gonna see what's down here. Cold Creek. Looks like a nice little place. Looks like it would probably be full of cottonmouths. So it is quite pretty. Lola's about to pull me over there. She's tearing out trying to see everything. Oh, I hope you're gonna choke yourself to death. Big old trees. Look at them cypress knees over there. That's pretty. Settlement, and I really wanted to stop and check it out, but there was like 100 cars there parked all down the side of the road and everything else. And turns out they were having a harvest festival there, which I thought was pretty interesting. Probably would have been pretty neat to see too, but it looked like there was a lot of food vendors, a lot of people around there and everything. And being that I have Lola with me, I don't think that would have turned out too well. So maybe we'll get to see it on the next trip. So we have just arrived at the Busby Campground, and we're going to check out the Little Mountain Trail. It's a little short hiking trail with an overlook. I think Lola's about ready to get back out of the truck, but I had planned to camp here tonight, but it's only 1:15 in the afternoon, so I don't know. We're going to have to see. We're going to do this hike, and depending on what time it is, she is so ready to get out. We may stay here, or we might try to go on up towards Tupelo. So let's get to hiking. And so it is a little mountain. The trail's over there. You can see for quite a long ways in that direction. And the trail goes down. So let's see where it goes. expect this kind of hillside in Mississippi. I guess that's why they call it Little Mountain. I have no idea how that tree is still hanging on. So it's a little bit after 2 in the afternoon, and we're here at Jeff Busby, and there are several spots open. And I really hate to set up camp this time of the day, but I can't find anywhere close that would be any better. So I think we're gonna make camp right here. All right, everybody, camp is set up. We're set up for the night. I got Lola over here. She's tied up right now. There's a couple of like maybe stray dogs running around, so we got to make sure we take care of our little baby. But anyway, I'm gonna bring you guys back when it's time to start cooking supper. Hello, everybody. We're back, and it's supper time. Cooking us some old hamburgers. Campsite's been really nice so far. Lola has enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it. We've been sitting here all evening just having us a good time. So I'll bring y'all back when supper's done. Y'all, I haven't ate all day. This is about to be bomb. It ain't much, y'all, but for a fella that ain't ate all day and looking at this view, I believe I'm about to enjoy this. All right, we got the Devos Light Ranger 800 lit up. We got the little old fire pit going. Lola is laying happily in the tent, and it is a fine afternoon. We do have a few folks around us, but everybody's quiet. We're having a good time here at Jeff Busby Campground. Lola is not happy that I put her in the tent. But besides that, camp is beautiful tonight, and we are having an excellent time. I'm about to call a night, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Now this is the life, y'all. This is good times. Good night, everybody. Day 2 of the Natchez Trace. Camp last night was great. It hovered around a perfect like 59, 60 degrees. Me and Lola were very comfortable. Had us a good start this morning. The only problem is I got a phone call yesterday afternoon that I've got some important business to attend back at home. So we're not going to be able to camp a second night and go on up to the Merriweather Campground and up towards Nashville and all. We got to head back. But we are going to take the trace back, and since we didn't get to see the Windsor ruins and all yesterday because I was trying to make good time, we're going to stop and check those out today. Anything we missed on the way up, we're going to try to stop and check it out. So day 2, here we go. Alright, y'all, I saw this yesterday and we passed it on by, not really on purpose. I just didn't realize that it was something to see. But this is the little information cabin right here below Jackson. Let's check it out. Looks like the old roof is made out of cedar shakes or cypress maybe. That's cool. I just wish they hadn't painted it. You know, it seems like they would have left it the old wood. Still neat to see though. Ooh, what a wasp nest. Look at them on there. Yow. Alright, we've chosen Rocky Springs Campground on the way back to stop and fix us some lunch. There's a very, very large group of tent campers over there, being kind of loud, but not bothering me, just stopping here for lunch. And I thought about actually camping here another night, but you know what? Nah. We're gonna get us some lunch in and head on out. Nothing like a good old camp cheeseburger. Alright, so just a fair warning, if you decide to head to the Windsor Ruins, be watching close, because it's not well marked. I passed it up and had to go way down to part of the mound trail to turn around, but we're here. Oh, look at that grand old live oak. Y'all, I have seen pictures of this thing time and time again, but I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I never realized that this thing would be this big. My gosh. Once upon a time, a grand old house stood right here. My goodness. This one's been here for a couple of days. 1824. What a beautiful, beautiful old building. The craftsmanship that went into these buildings like this is just amazing to me. You can actually go in this one. Boy, I bet it was a beautiful sound to hear the old acapella chorus in here back in 1824. The old brick is exposed on this side of it still. How beautiful. Very nice. Good news, y'all. Mount Locust was closed yesterday, but it's open today. So we're gonna go check it out. So there's some information about Mount Locust. If you want to pause there and read up. But what a beautiful little inn. Corn shelling thing here. You can smell the old house in it. The old houses just have that certain smell. There's a well or a cistern over there. Another one over there. Not sure where that goes. Peek inside. Neat. Some old weary traveler laid their head here at one point. How cool. A beautiful place full of history indeed. Yesterday I told y'all that we were sticking to the trace, so we wasn't going to stop by the state park. But since I had to kind of change my plans a little bit and come back through this way, I decided to stop at the state park and we're going to check it out ourselves, okay? So honestly, there isn't much to this campground. I've already turned around and coming back out. It's a lot of electrical hookups. Like, I guess if you're bringing an actual RV, it would probably be nice, but honestly, if you're looking for just a really nice campground to stay at, I would suggest going on up the trace to Rocky Springs. I think it'd be worth the few extra miles. Okay, hold on. There was a Y in the road back there, so I decided to explore a little further, and there is a second campground here, and apparently a lake, so let's explore. Okay, once again, this one is definitely more RV oriented, but it is much nicer than that first campground that you come to, because you actually have a view of the lake. There is a lake, and it's quite nice. It looks really nice. Got a really nice bathhouse. I haven't been inside, but it looks like it's very well kept. Now I'm coming to a sign that said they have cabins by the lake, so let's go check that out. Alright, so here we go. It looks like we're going to get a good view of the lake up here across this narrow bridge, it says. Pretty high up off the ground up here, or high in elevation, I should say. Oh, it is quite nice here. It's a pretty lake, for sure. I'm just checking it out. Sorry for the dirty windshield. We totaled about 500 miles, so the old truck is dirty. Well, there was a sign back there that said cabin guest only past this point, but there was no turnaround, so guess what? We're just gonna identify as cabin guest right now. Some fairly large, nice looking cabins here. Now, the question is Natchez State Park worth it? In my opinion, if you are in an RV or if you're pulling a camper and you're looking for somewhere close to the southern terminus to camp, sure. It's got electrical hookup, it's got water, it's got the dump station for your tanks and everything. But as far as just, you know, it being a beautiful area, it's nice. It's nice. But I will say, Rocky Springs to me was much prettier as far as somewhere to camp. And it's pretty close to the southern terminus. It's not too far. But anyway, there's my review of the Natchez State Park for y'all. Well, y'all, this marks the end of me and the Lola Pup's journey up the Natchez Trace Parkway. I know it wasn't very exciting for y'all, but I think it portrays the nature of the trace pretty well. It's just relaxing, historically educational, just a nice leisurely drive. We covered about 380 miles, 190 miles up, 190 miles back down, and lots of little side quests along the way. But all in all, it's been a good time. So now we're going to make our short little 2 or 2.5 hour drive home, and thank y'all for coming along. See y'all later. Goodbye, Natchez Trace. Until next time.